All right, everybody, we're going to be talking about some of these crashes and close calls from MotoStars. The goal is to figure out what happened, how it happened, what we can do differently ourselves, and then we're going to get on the bike and talk about the plan method. Ooh, wait until last second, that's fine. Zipper merging.
So check this out and
just watch out behind you. There it is. Because people don't pay attention. So when we talk about planning our ride, it's positioning for safety. Get off to the side just a little bit. We'll talk about that when I get on the bike a little bit later. But you see how we're like right in the middle. Let's go ahead and get out of there. Right in the middle. So what I like to do is position myself. Let's get my pen out. A little bit off to the sides. Okay. And I get it. You know, somebody's like in a car. They might come up here and get side by side with you. That's fine. That's fine, because if anybody gets hit, it's going to be them, because their rear bumper's back there. They're going to get hit by somebody else. We're kind of protected a little bit. So if they get hit and like they get moved up a little bit, just go ahead and accelerate just a little bit and get yourself out of there, and that's your escape path. But being right in the middle, not only you're going to be next to oil, road debris, and whatnot, there's a good chance that you might get hit. They're supposed to be paying attention. But they don't. And there's the impact. So another thing that we can do is wear protective gear. So in your motorcycle jacket, make sure you have CE level 2 armor in the back. I like D30 armor. It's that orange stuff. It's non-Newtonian fluids. So it's like malleable, but once you give it some impact, it hardens up. Guys, stop thinking like that. Okay, truck suddenly changed lane. Okay, we're lane splitting. How did we not get seen? I mean, we're wearing high vis, right? We're wearing high vis. So this is one of the hazards. Just take a look at this. When we talk about positioning for safety, locating hazards, assessing, and navigating, like I said, we're going to be on the bike. Right here, we have no escape routes to the left or to the right. So when we position for safety, that's what we're looking for, is escape routes, line of sight, and space cushion. So our line of sight is really good. That's a great thing about this position. You can see really far in between vehicles. Vehicles are not obstructing you. But your escape paths suck. They are terrible. No es buenos. I think that's how you say it. But our space cushion is pretty good. So we have a couple things. So the only thing we can really do is accelerate out of here or brake. It's not a position I like to be in all the time, but it can be beneficial, especially at stoplights. That's what we use it for here in Arizona. Now, one thing you can look out for is patterns. Our body and our mind are really good at pattern recognition. It's much easier than trying to read all this. Or you can just find a pattern like green or an open lane pattern right here. And that's what we see right here is an open lane pattern. And so what that means is that we have a big open lane, or at least enough for a vehicle to get in. We have slow vehicles up ahead. Okay, so remember, we have to look for that, right? And then we have a vehicle that possibly can get in there. So if there's a possibility of something happening, we're locating that hazardous situation. Assessing if it's real to us, though, that's a little bit different. But the reason why we need to locate and assess is that we go into orange stage. We're prepped and ready. We are kind of on high alert, covering our brakes, especially when we're lane filtering and lane splitting, making sure that we can swerve and whatnot. And if something does happen, let's bring that back up. We have to navigate an actor threat, which is going to be action time. We got to do something. Brown stage, it's a panic. And hopefully it's just going to be a learning lesson. So it's a panic. You didn't do the right thing. It's just a learning lesson. It'll show you what we need to train for. So when we're watching a lot of these after-action reviews, there's a lot of brown stages. There's just a lot of things that weren't done right, rider error. And so we're trying to learn from that. So when we see this open lane pattern, be careful. You might have to swerve, but he did great with the braking. A little bit of a swerve, but got very lucky. And if you notice, high-vis gear, sometimes it doesn't matter. Inattentional blindness. People just don't see us. They just don't see us. Be careful.
Just minding my own business way.
Yep. Okay. Nice helmet. I love it. It's got the quad lock with the vibration dampener on it. Oh! Okay, it seems like everybody should be okay in that situation. Maybe some whiplash, but imagine getting hit by that vehicle. So when we talk about rescuing people, remain calm, ensure own safety. Did great job here. I'd be looking behind me too. And just for a little bit of practice in this situation, get your rescue pack out. Go over there and see if you can do an assessment. I think that'd be kind of fun. Everyone seemed to be fine on that one. Jared Allen. Here we go. Mountains. What kind of situations do we have here? We got road debris possibly. Okay, made it off road. And just a little bit of a gravity attack at the end. Not a big deal. What do you think caused that situation for this rider? Is that the same one? No. Salty Snacks is the next one. So we're going through here. Remember, planning a ride, position for safety, locating. I think mountains are hazardous situations just because, I mean, look, line of sight issues, remember? Can't see past this. You don't know what's around that corner. So when we position for safety, great position. Gives us the best visual view that we possibly can. I'm looking at this corner here, then I'm looking kind of like if there's debris here, then I'm looking back at the corner, looking at the debris here. I'm using my target fixation as far as I can into the corner. Target fixation isn't a problem. It's a tool. Target fixation, if you're looking over here, is bad. Target fixation looking at where you want to go is good. So target fixate on where you want to go. But yeah, I think it's an orange stage because you don't know what's around the corner. There could be road debris here. There could be ice. There could be a deer. There could be rocks. There could be whatever. So covering those brakes, doing some trail braking, slowing it down or going a little bit, just going the speed limit, to be quite honest. Just go the speed limit. You don't need to go under. Great job with the braking so you didn't slam into the side of the wall into that rock over there. So overall, good. So this was a brown stage. We panicked a little bit, right? What kind of training should we be implementing for ourselves if this happened to us? Okay, think about that right in the comments. All right, salty snacks. Look at the road surface.
That he was very surprised by the negative comeback.
Forgot Motostar's talks.
Failed to properly handle the turn. Fortunately, thanks to having the right gear, he was completely unhurt.
Okay. Oh, kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing. What happened in this situation? So it looks like it's motorcycle pants. I see armor. Nobody has giant knees like that unless you have bursitis. The jacket looks... Yeah, jacket looks like a motorcycle jacket, gloves. So part of being a smart rider, right, is acquire and use personal protective equipment. We might have failed here, maintaining our fundamental skills and everything, but let's bring that back up. Maybe failed here, but we have this, it'll protect us, and if we need to, we can rescue. And this video is teaching us. So complex made simple or possible. I love that. Can we write that down? Can we trademark that?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do here.
You're probably
in
this situation.
Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper. Tank slapper.
Yeah.
So we went up and over. It's a high side right there. A little bit of a high side. So having full gear, right?
Yep, that's
Very important.
You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Hopefully we don't get hurt. Reyes SR97. Okay. What could we have done differently here? Guys, what do you think is happening here? It's kind of what we talked about a little bit earlier. It's the open lane pattern. It's just that somebody's cutting in front. They don't like it because they want to have good line of sight. They moved over. We have an open lane over here. We could do the same thing. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. They just didn't look. The car driver didn't look. Daniel Webster. Here we go. Having some fun. Using a 360 camera. It's an old GoPro. Interesting. Got an old GoPro. Oh! Ooh. Ooh, a little bit of a low side. Okay, a little bit of a low side. Not fun. A little bit of a low side. Don't have the text for that one. He's got full gear. This must be an old video. Full gear, very good.
The driver
helped him out
to adequately communicate what he really means, so he decided to repeat his strange behavior several times.
Let's wear some gear, but gloves is good. Gloves is a good start. Helmet and gloves is a good start. Good position. Whoa. What are you doing there, buddy? Did you just had to spit something out? Yeah, give yourself a good space cushion. This person must have an already short fuse today. Exactly. Sometimes people can't handle their emotions. Their behaviors sneak out. Ooh, I would not want to be reversed into right there. Position yourself a little bit more kind of over here so you can kind of see past them. So if they do reverse into you, you can accelerate left if you needed to. It's hard to Flintstone it and reverse on a motorcycle, even though they got some Z125s and Groms or whatever those are. They're actually surprisingly pretty high up for a seat height. A Honda Rebel's actually lower seat height. Yeah, not much you could do here, but I wanted to point out the good line of sight here. Well, except for the car door. Look at that line of sight. That's an amazing spot right there. That's an amazing position for safety. Telling you that right now. Look at this is why. I'll tell you why. We have great line of sight. We can see past the vehicle. We have a good space cushion. This is going to give us enough time to swerve if we need to, or emergency brake, especially at the speed we're going. I think it says 24. Right? So we have line of sight, space cushion, and our escape route is also the line of sight, but we can also swerve this way. And with this space cushion right here, we can swerve onto the shoulder if we needed to. This gives us a lot of good options. The main one here that's going to help out is that vision. Because if you know what's going to happen before it happens, you're going to be able to do something about it. Right? All right, we don't need to rewatch the whole thing, though. Let's get past that. All right, let's move on. Rambling Man, Moto, and Drone. Oh, don't hit him, don't hit him. Oh, what's that in the road? Road surface hazard. Great swerve. It's a tire. Great swerve. Found that escape path. This is a great plan video. I love it. How you doing, King? So we're coming up through here. He sees a road surface hazard coming up ahead right there. What do? We can swerve left. This car's already kind of doing it. What's our escape path? We need to figure out, like, what are we going to do, right? Swerves to the right. The other car swerves to the left. We have a nice shoulder here, and we're going to swerve back into our lane. I don't want to look at the tire. I want to look at the guy. Anyways, swerve back into our lane. Great job. Great emergency swerves. Great red stage situation right there. Eagle Eye Archery. Oh, what do we got here? Terrible U-turn. Terrible U-turn. Make sure you're looking. Make sure you're looking. Motown motorcycle. Okay, watch out for the truck. Might want to come into our lane. Good space cushion up ahead. We have an escape path. Okay, accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. There you go. There you go. Stuff happens, guys. That was an open lane pattern. Yes, I spent way too much time alongside the truck. That's my fault. However, trucks have blind spot mirrors for a reason. Additionally, when Coach Free just apologized, he says yell at me through the windshield. Yeah, because he's probably a little child, in an adult brain. So what I like to do, this was great. This was great. What I like to do is that when this vehicle, if I'm in the same situation, which happens, right? And I'm sitting back here, even in my van or my motorcycle, if this vehicle, once they get past, and there's actually enough room behind the vehicle that's ahead of the SUV or the semi, I just accelerate hard into that spot that is ahead. It's like I wait for it to be way staggered, and then I take over that new staggered. That way, if anything happens and they do switch over, we're good. Plus, also when the truck driver sees the new car ahead, they're gonna move over. Anyways, it's a terrible situation. At the end of the day, what do we do, right? What do we do if we get stuck? We get stuck here. Okay, always look for those escape paths. And motorcyclists, guys, right there, right there. That's all you need. I like to ride and then play around a little bit. I don't know if you should do this, but I do it. And if any cops and you say you're just training, it's not dangerous riding, reckless riding. I like to pretend I'm on a balance beam sometimes on the line. Anybody else do that? Only on straightaways. So like on the interstate. And then maybe like a 45-mile road. Anybody else like pretend they're like on a balance beam? Just for a little bit, not for miles, maybe for like 20 seconds. Pretend you're on a balance beam. It's great for precision. But that reminds you is like if all you need is this much room for your motorcycle tires, imagine how much room you really have over here, right? Guys, like that's what I'm talking about. So practice, have some fun, switch over, if you need to for that great escape path. Recognize these tires are crossing over onto your lane and get yourself out of there. Get yourself out of there. Here we go. Okay, we can move on. We don't need to watch all that. We're good. Oh, That's gonna be fun. All right, here we go. Brispy Cinnablunts. Brispy Cinnablunts. Okay, here we go. Brum, 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 brum.
Goddamn. That was heavy.
I missed it.
God.
I missed it because we got something in the chat. Moto Matt with a $100 donation. Words cannot describe how informative your videos are. I was a first-time rider when I started watching your videos, and I continue to keep learning. Keep up the good work, man. Ride safe. I'm in Tucson, too, by the way. Oh, snap. Moto Matt. We should, I need to go to Gear Shifters and do, go to one of their bike nights. I think that'd be fun. Maybe we can all, like, meet up there. All right, let's go and watch this. Sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention. So, doing some wheelies. And somehow a bike entered they didn't show that, what happened.
Goddamn.
But I'm assuming some loss of balance.
Heavy.
Guys, remember, these people, they're able to balance a massive motorcycle. Thanks again, Moto Matt, for $100 donation. That's insane. They can balance a motorcycle on one tire, and in many different ways. And it's like that's pretty cool. You know, that takes some skill. And they're constantly practicing. They're constantly. Oh, I know this area. Is this on the way to Carlsbad?
Adios. Oh, no, not adios.
Yeah, Carlsbad Boulevard. They're going north.
Oh, what?
Oh, somebody got in trouble.
For what?
Somebody got in trouble. That sucks.
What? Bro, let him put his kickstand down at least.
Yeah, let him put his kickstand down.
Look at this. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what he did. He's not going to rat everybody else out. We can move on. And then somebody steals his bike. Anyways, all right, here we go.
Speed and the biker's braking was too panicky, causing him to straighten the bike.
Too panicky.
Him
Are we gonna fishtail? Nope. Oh, keep it up. Oh! Easily broken collarbone, so hopefully not. He's got some gear. It was on his leg, so this is why you get some motorcycle boots. Looks like he's got leathers underneath the hoodie. Maybe. All right, so too much speed. Oh, he's checking his phone. That's not going to be a good one. Too much speed says 70 kilometers an hour on that spot. What are we at?
Too much speed and the biker's braking was too panicky.
237? 231? No way. Right? Am I seeing this wrong? Am I seeing it right? Does it look like that's how fast we're going?
It was far too much speed and the biker's braking was too panicky, causing
We're supposed to be going 70.
the bike, throwing him out of the turn.
Yeah, kilometers. Yeah, his braking wasn't the greatest. But he kept himself alive by slowing down as best he can. He's just gonna have to buy a new bike. Woo-wee. That sucks. 147 miles per hour. 140 miles per hour. Yeah, wow. Wow. All right, here we go. Don't get on your phone in the middle of a turn. Now you can get on your phone because it's straightaway, right? All right, so watch out. We got some possible turns up ahead. Oh. Full gear. Don't go into oncoming traffic. There you go. Ride it out. Remain calm. Ensure your own safety. What do you guys think happened? Oh, I really want to get a camera. Oh, he broke the lens. I really want to get a camera set up that way so you guys can ride with me. So when I teach some stuff, you can see a different perspective. Because, gosh, I remember when I first started doing the handlebar cam with my Hero 1, and I had a Hero 2 on my chin. I got the idea from video game streaming when they had face cams. Because you get to see what they're doing playing video games, but then you could see their face at the same time. I was like, hey, why don't I do that? That was back in 2016. No. That was back in like 2013 I started doing that. What do you guys think happened here? Maybe a little, hit a little bump? A little little bump. Caused some speed wobbles. Lost some traction. There's that. Road is wet. The way that's, Jay, the way you said it, the way I heard it, I guess, it's like, road is wet. Like you just, like you didn't even raise your hand. You just yelled out. You're like, road is wet. I don't know why I'm having fun with that. Anyways, let's go back to this.
On 60 kilometers per hour.
60 kilometers per hour. Okay.
Slight right curve.
Got a steering dampener. That's pretty good. Going through the turn.
Pagpasok kasi ng kurbada. Clear yung daan.
Ooh.
Walang masyadong dumi or...
I was say the bike kept going around him. Interesting.
After a few meters, dun na nagkaroon ng...
Road is moist.
Napakadaming bato-bato. And buhangin.
No, it's just funny.
So basically, dumulas yung front
So
tire.
lost some traction, maybe some gravel on the road. Let's see.
Sumunod na rin yung rear
You
tire.
pass somebody.
So nag-slide, bumagsak yung
You got
bike
a Cardo. Is that a Cardo?
sa kanan and then nag-slide na
Is that
siya
an edge?
papunta dun sa
Ooh. This is a good example of helmet. Why you need a helmet. So gloves, same thing. Natural instinct to put the hand down. Okay. Could break some fingers. But look at this. Full face. That's why. That's why you wear a full face. I mean, my beard might protect me. Okay. I might just shave off a little. But the big problem here is that you're going to rip your face off. Okay.
tawag ko dun.
Wear a full face helmet.
Thankfully, walang nangyari sa akin. Minor.
Oh, he caught fire. Okay, okay. Always a Prius. So that was an open lane pattern too. Take a look at this. So they're supposed to stay in this lane, but their line is kind of stuck. You can see the brake lights. It's hard to see. In the intersections, like I said, this is when we locate hazard situations, but our lane is open. You can see it right there. So when you see that kind of stuff, just anticipate this is going to happen. Just anticipate it. Let them in. Get out of there. Hopefully the car's behind you. Like, do a full 360 situation awareness. What's the name of the company? Duffy's Taxi. Okay. Frequent stops. That makes sense. Oh, the music.
So this is where I filtered just slightly in front of the van.
Okay.
Oh dear. And then at some point he pulls it ensues. I
Clarity ensues. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Joe Haynes. Oh, deer? Is there going to be a deer? Squirrel. Good job braking. You guys saw that, right? Little squirrel right there. Good job braking. Squirrels, though, if you have to, hit them. Don't swerve into a tree if you have to. They're tiny. Sucks. I wouldn't want to hit one. But good job on the braking. It's good braking practice. Just don't put yourself in a bad situation like, oh, no, I have to swerve out of the way. If I don't, I'm going to crash and die. And then you swerve and you hit a tree. It's like, no, squirrels. You'll feel it. Oh, he's going to go wide. They're talking to each other. Good job. Keep it up. Keep it up. There you go. Handled it. All right. Time to pass. Driver speeds up. Ooh, I hate people that do that. I hate people. Ooh, what? Thought we were talking about the driver. So we got a deer. Oh. Good job with this. Oh, navigated that one. Did the deer, or did the car... Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. All right, everybody, we're going to be talking about... Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to be talking about the plan method. We're going to hop on the bike. We're going to be talking about the plan method, so make sure you guys stick around. Remember, positioning for safety. If you want to, go ahead and pause this so you can have this for yourself. We're locating hazardous situations, assessing relevant threats, and navigating active threats. The reason why the P is yellow is because we're in orange stage. I'm sorry, yellow stage, then orange, and then red if we have to. So let's go ahead and hop on the bike. Let's go ahead and show you guys in real time what that looks like, okay? All right, everybody, we're going to be talking about the plan method. It is based off the OODA loop, so observe, orient, decide, and act. Now, if you notice observe, orient is the second one, and that basically says where are you in space and time. Well, I like to put myself in a position for success when I do things. So on plan, it is position for safety, locate hazardous situations, assess relevant threats, and navigate active threats. We talked about the MTC awareness stages and how yellow stage gets you in that mindset of you're paying attention. Orange stage is intersections, looking for those hazards, and red stage is you are doing something. So if you notice for P, for position for safety, it's that yellow stage. When we're locating hazardous situations, it's because we're actively searching for those. We have an intersection coming up, I'm locating it. Now I got to get into orange stage. Assessing if anything's a threat, I'm in that paranoid mode where I'm trying to find those threats, because humans are really good at finding problems, right? And then navigating a threat, just in case somebody decides to do something that I don't like because I don't want to get hit. I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and lane filter. This is definite orange stage. Arizona just passed the lane filtering law. Make sure I can make it through all here. There we go. There we go. And what we're going to be doing is talking about the plan method. Position for safety. So here's the thing. When we are positioning for safety, there's a few principles involved with it. Now, we're going to keep building and building and building upon our motorcycle road strategy and situational awareness. And right here, this is the P. There's a few sections underneath it. So what we're looking for is great line of sight. So we want to have great unobstructed vision of what's in front of us. We also are looking for a good space cushion. Right now I got a really good space cushion for the vehicles in front of me. This gives me plenty of total stopping distance. It gives me plenty of time to make decisions on swerving. We're in orange stage right now going through this intersection because we have a left turner right there. And I'm also looking for an escape path. I just want one, at minimum one. If I'm ever in a position where I don't have any, we're in a bad spot. And I did not position well for safety. So right here, I don't know if this guy's gonna turn left in front of me, so I'm gonna maintain a space cushion. It's not just what's in front of you, it's also around you. So, I have great line of sight, great escape paths, and I have a great space cushion. I can escape left or right, I have my own lane to escape into, and now it's not just for roadway users, this is also for any type of road surface hazards. Gravel in the middle of the road, you might have to reposition, right? Also, it could be for manhole covers, it could just be whatever, and you could utilize left, center, or right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you, we got this guy right here. So right here, this is a terrible line of sight. I'm getting into a terrible position for safety because now my escape paths are getting worse and worse and worse, and my space cushion is worse. Now I'm gonna go over here, and I have a great line of sight, and I'm gonna go ahead and get myself up front. Oh, we gotta go ahead and adjust and get back in, that's part of the law. So right here, terrible space cushion, terrible position for safety. This is a terrible line of sight. I'm showing you guys exactly what it looks like. And right now, great line of sight. So it really is about positioning inside the lane, but I don't like the space cushion, so what I'm gonna do is roll off the throttle, allow them to maintain their speed, and they go ahead and move forward, and I have a better space cushion. So I still don't like this line of sight. I'm gonna go ahead and position myself over here and have better line of sight. So now I can make adjustments based off of the red truck versus the green car. I can have the same exact reaction time as the person in front of me versus me reacting off of the person in front of me. So I have a way better perception reaction time if I have great vision, okay? So always look for good vision, always look for a good space cushion, always look for that escape path. My escape path is over to the right if I need to, so it's like a nice little swerve, and now we're good. Okay guys, that's position for safety. Constantly practice it. We're gonna constantly be talking about it. Locating hazardous situations. Now, when you're out in town, it's gonna be roadway users for the most part. You do have road surface hazards. You do have, people pulling out, but the big thing here inside of a city or a town or anywhere with obvious traffic is gonna be intersections. Because remember, I'm gonna stay back in this lane. Remember, we're trying to find the hazardous situation, not hazardous people. So right here, I don't know if anybody's gonna be switching over because this is an open lane pattern. And that's another thing that we look for when we talk about our after action reviews of other people crashing is we tend to see this open lane pattern where our lane is quite open and their lane is stacked up. And when you're in a long line, you see a line open up, guess what? You're going to want to go into that shorter line. And that's what I just did, and that's what they might do. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself in a better position for safety, which we just talked about. So, locating hazardous situations, intersections. Man, so many accidents happen in intersections, so many accidents happen in merging areas, so this was a hazardous situation if there were people. And intersections don't have to be lighted. They don't have to be lighted intersections. They don't have to have like the green, yellow, and red. This is an intersection. It's a T intersection. This is also an intersection. People wanting to do a U-turn in front of you. This is also an intersection. There's no real lights. It's a pedestrian crossing, but it's an intersection. And so anybody can pull out in front of you. This guy can merge in front of me. So when we have locating hazardous situations, right now I'm doing good right here. I'm staggered with this vehicle, but let's get myself in their blind spot. This is a hazardous situation also. What I could do is roll off the throttle or accelerate and get in front of them. I'd prefer to roll off the throttle so I don't speed trying to save myself. Also, one thing that you guys don't really pay attention to, because it's usually external, the problems are external for you. Are you the hazardous situation? Are you putting yourself in a bad position? You could be doing that with your mindset. So think about that. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of lane filtering here, I'm going to position myself for safety because this is a hazardous situation because there's lots of traffic and it's an intersection. And right here, this is a good position for safety because if somebody, like this red truck behind me, decides to not stop, hopefully they hit the GMC and maybe just clip my leg versus getting me sandwiched. All right, guys, that's locating hazardous situations. You got plenty more. Write in the comments, what hazardous situations have you been a part of? All right, everybody, we're going to be jumping into assessing relevant threats. Now, once again, this builds upon the plan method, position for safety, locate hazardous situations, assessing relevant threats, and navigating active threats. So we have to find out if there's a threat. Now, this is a hazardous situation coming up because we have an intersection right here. We got this person turning left. We don't know if anybody's coming out, but right here, person turning left. You hear about that. Is that a threat? No, that threat's not going to be for me. I'm assessing if it is. Now, right here, is this a threat for me? Possibly. They could turn into me, but they're not crossing that line. But I want to be preventive. I'm going to roll up my throttle and stagger myself with them so I have a better position for safety. So you don't have to wait until there's a real threat. Like right here, we have a van about to come out. There they go. Are they a real threat to me? It's the side of the vehicle, right? No, they're in that lane. This guy might want to switch over. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and roll off my throttle. We need to understand that not everything is a threat, because if you get into the mindset of everything is a threat, you're going to be anxious whenever you get on the road. And a lot of you are not confident on the road because you're really anxious about every single thing. That's fine. Now let's go ahead and reduce from every single thing to maybe a couple things. And that's what we're trying to do. So gravel on the road, there's gravel right there. Not a threat to me because it's on the side of the road. I'm not going that way. If I was turning, then it goes into navigating active threats where I need to find a good position in the road to go around it. Now, anybody coming out? No. People behind me? Not a big deal. So it's not always going to be threatening for you. Now, if you're coming up to places like a corner, you need to assess if it's a relevant threat. If you can't see around the corner, you might have to make adjustments, but you're not navigating things. A lot of stuff in this world don't really pertain to you, and if it does, sometimes it's just about saying, oh, not a real big deal. And that's kind of hard to do, but that's part of planning your ride, position for safety, locating hazardous situations. Now, is there any threats in those situations? No, not really. Okay, moving on, back to yellow stage. If there is, we're gonna have to navigate those things. We're gonna be talking about navigating active threats, okay? So we talked about the MTC awareness stages, white, yellow, orange, red, brown. We just talked about the plan method when you're riding, position for safety, locating hazardous situations, assessing relevant threats, and now navigating active threats. So plan method and the awareness stages. Hey buddy, you're really bright. So the awareness stages is the mindset, the awareness in your mind. Planning is physicality and searching, using your eyes. So think about that. You got physical movements, actionable steps with plan. The awareness stages is in the mind. It's to get you in the mindset. Now we're gonna go. So navigating active threats. Right now I'm coming up to an intersection. This is orange stage. I have no threats behind me. I don't know if they are. I'm assessing if this red truck is going to be a threat to me. Unsure, so I'm gonna go ahead and position myself for safety. And I'm still in orange stage, but if he decides to not freaking stop, I gotta navigate this because I went into red stage. I'm gonna accelerate into a lane filtering position, so hopefully he hits the Honda Accord and not me. So I position myself into an area where I have success if I needed to utilize acceleration as a tool to get out of here. And I was assessing at the same time if they were a threat. So we can't really show too much when it comes to the red stage and navigation of threats because I don't want to put myself in a bad position. So what we typically do is we watch Dan and the Fireman, we watch the main channel, we watch these people crash and have close calls, and we do an after action review. We figure out what they did, what they didn't do, what was successful, what was not successful, what they did versus what the car drivers or the external stuff happened. And we start to understand how things work. And for the most part, when it comes to navigating after threats, it really boils down to like 3 things that we can do. Okay, remember, we're on a motorcycle. We can't just jump over things. Maybe, who knows? The 3 things that we can do is emergency braking. So that's gonna be emergency progressive braking. Hey buddy, emergency progressive braking. What that is that you're going to squeeze that front brake harder and harder and harder, but smooth. And you start off slow and you can get faster and faster and faster going into that. All right, I'm gonna make it through this yellow. It's not gonna be safe for me to not safe for me to stop. We got a side of the vehicle right here. Give myself a space cushion. Going to go ahead and present myself. The next thing we could do is swerve. If I had to, if somebody slammed the brakes right here and I just couldn't stop in time, I could swerve off to the right, swerve off to the left. Another thing that we can do in a red stage in navigation of an active threat is acceleration. A lot of people think all you can do is brake and swerve. You have another primary control of the throttle. You have a primary control of the front brake and rear brake. You have a primary control of the handlebars and steering. You also have a primary control of that acceleration, that throttle right there. So utilize it. So if somebody decides to pull out and I won't be able to stop in time, I'm going to swerve to the left and then accelerate to get myself out of there. As long as I have stuff in front of me that I can accelerate into, you know, not another car, right? Another road, something. And I'm gonna swerve back into my lane. So I'm paying attention here, going to go position myself for safety. I can see the brake lights up ahead. But that's what we're talking about here. It's all coming together. Put yourself in that mindset. We are orange stage right now. If we had to go into red stage, we are going to make sure that we swerve. We do something that's important to keep ourselves alive, okay? So practice this. This is a consistent, active thing that you're doing. Yellow, orange, orange, yellow, assessing, locating, maybe navigating, but position, locating, assessing. It is something that you need to practice over and over and over again. All right, guys? But remember to plan your ride, position for safety, locate hazards, assess, and navigate. Talk about that at the MTC Rider Academy in depth. So make sure you check it out and practice your smart rider drills, guys.